Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the news catch up. It is Thursday night. Glad you all are here to join me. Hope everyone is doing well. We got a lot to get to today, so we're going to jump right into it. So let's say hello and let's get on with it. Hey, dog mama. Bobby. They are huge. They are fucking huge. Tigger, hello. Wait. No, I have a 5-minute grace period. We all know this. What's up, Jason J? Hello, Linda. Hey, Mystic. What's up, Josh? Kitty, good to see you. And Man Bun, hello. How are you? Oops. Man Bun, hello. How are you? So, we're going to start off with good news today. Yes, 5-minute grace period. Exactly. You're getting it. So, we're going to start off with some good news today. Thank God that we finally have a Congress and we can start sending money to Ukraine again. Like, I was getting really worried, but yeah, we're back in business. So, United States set to announce an additional $425 million in weapons to Ukraine. So it's not as much as they're used to getting, but thankfully we restarted the giving all your hard-earned money to Ukraine. I'm happy. I hope you guys are. But wait, there's more. Breaking. The U.S. House of Representatives have passed the Israel funding bill that would give $14.3 billion to Israel, paid for by $14.3 billion in cuts to the IRS. Biden has said he'd veto the bill, but 12 Democrats have defied Biden to vote in favor. Do you support this funding bill? No. No, I don't. Not even remotely. But that's the major headline right now, is that we're back in business and we are sending money to everyone again. So, I mean, that's probably a good deal. I just love seeing my hard-earned money going overseas. So that's about all that deserves or needs. Hey, what's up, Daisy Girl? Oh, why is it not clicking on one I want? There we go. What's up? Hey, stop spoiling the news. You know that Prison Planet comes after Politics Clown Show. So anyways, it is political season. We're gonna start seeing the ads ramp up. It saddens me to have to bring you guys this news. Absolutely saddens me. I'm probably gonna go to my cry closet after this is over with. But former Vice President Mike Pence has dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. So
I just couldn't sit this one out. But the Bible tells us that there's a time for every purpose under heaven. And traveling across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me. This is not my time.
no shit, Mike.
So after much prayer and deliberation, I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now I'm leaving this campaign,
Allegedly.
but let me promise you,
Allegedly.
I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land. So help me God.
Fuck you, Mike Pence. All right. From one failed leader to a real leader. This is Trump's new ad.
As commander-in-chief, he always had his soldiers' backs, was always there to support them and their families. He kept his promise to keep them out of endless wars and to never forget about them after they served. America learned having a weak leader can tragically lead to American deaths, which is why America needs strength now more than ever.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Short, sweet, to the point, powerful. I like it. It's currently running in the states that are nominating right now. Yeah, Bradley and I had a interesting conversation last night about a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna go there right now, but yeah, it looks like things could get real interesting. Real interesting. And I don't think he gets the chance to run for multiple reasons. I think they have multiple things in place to stop him from running. Don't worry though. Yes. Hell yeah. What's up, Neo? No, he's not. No, he's not. Hey, what's up, dog mama? Me too. All right, so Cuck DeSantis also has a new ad out because, you know, he's got to. So
while Biden fails, DeSantis leads.
The DeSantis administration has launched an evacuation.
Safely evacuated hundreds of stranded Americans out of Israel. After a catastrophic hurricane, they said it would take over 6 months. But DeSantis got people back in their homes and rebuilt bridges in just days. And DeSantis deployed troops to the southern border to stop the invasion. Ron DeSantis, he will fight for you. He will win for us. And he will lead America's comeback.
I'm Ron DeSantis, and I approve this message.
Well,
thank you, Ron. You should have stayed on the sidelines, and we probably would have all supported you in 28. But you're a cuck, and you got bought, and now we're dealing with this. From people running to people not running, there seems to be a little bit of a movement towards getting rid of some of these assholes that probably shouldn't be there anymore. Some of these hyper rhinos that would be great if we could get out of politics altogether. This is Ken Buck from Colorado, and this is his "I'm not running again" speech.
Hi, this is Congressman Ken Buck. After careful consideration and much prayer,
I opened
I
a
have
drink.
decided not to seek a 6th term in the U.S. House of Representatives. To the people of Colorado's 4th Congressional District, thank you for sending me to Congress. I'm grateful for your support as we have fought against the left's policies.
Oh, damn. I'll go look.
Real-world consequences.
After.
Defunding the police, politicizing student loans, provoking inflation with excessive spending, creating open borders, decimating our domestic energy production. Americans are rightfully concerned about our nation's future and are looking to Republicans in Washington for a course correction. But their hope for Republicans to take decisive action may be in vain. Our nation is on a collision course with reality, and a steadfast commitment to truth, even uncomfortable truths, is the only way forward. Too many Republican leaders are lying to America, claiming that the 2020 election was stolen, describing January 6th as an unguided tour of the Capitol, and asserting that the ensuing prosecutions are a weaponization of our justice system. These insidious narratives breed widespread cynicism and erode Americans' confidence in the rule of law. It is impossible for the Republican Party to confront our problems and offer a course correction for the future while being obsessively fixated on retribution and vengeance for contrived injustices of the past. This trend among Republicans is a significant departure from the enduring principles of conservatism. We belong to the party of Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan. Our movement has always been fueled by immutable truths about human nature, individual liberty, and economic freedoms. The Republican Party of today, however, is ignoring self-evident truths about the rule of law and limited government in exchange for self-serving lies. I made the decision to leave Congress because tough votes are being replaced by social media status. It's time to stop feeding popular narratives and start addressing the long-term solutions. I
Yeah,
believe
fuck
America's
standing up
exceptions
for your
lies and
constituents.
answers developed from the government, not the government. My passion is to work with Americans to encourage advocacy for the long-term reforms that we need to implement. To my friends in Colorado, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve our nation and to serve you. I look forward to seeing you at the grocery store and the high school football game. Being your representative in Washington, D.C. has been the greatest professional thrill and highest honor of my life. May God bless you, and may God bless these United States of America.
Shut up, Rhino. All right. Trigger warning. You're going to see a sniff. You're going to see a sniff. This is President Biden handing out candy during Halloween event at the White House. Oh, yeah, I agree. 100%. Okay. We can. I'll allow it. So you're gonna see a slight sniff. Just be ready. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. There it is. Your kid come into my house. I got candy. Fucking creep. 81 million votes. What's up, D's? What's up, Wolf Wolfman? So moving right along so we don't ever have to watch that again. The FBI seems to be busy. All kinds of agencies seem to be busy. These are more of the political ones. They could fit in Prison Planet, but isn't that all that politics is anymore? It's just Prison Planet. But my feet skipped. I didn't get triggered as I didn't see the sniff. Well, you're lucky then. You're lucky. Developing FBI raids Brooklyn home of chief fundraiser for New York City Mayor Eric Adams and what appears to be campaign finance related investigation. You didn't see the sniff? Shit. Are you telling me I have to go back? All right. Damn it. So it seems that they're active. I don't know why. It's probably all a smoke screen. But Eric Adams, of course, called it racism. Twitter's losing it because they're my racisms. So we'll go back to the sniff in a second. We'll go back to the sniff after we get through these three little. I know you do, D's. It's kind of gross. All right, so we're gonna have a conversation. This one and the next one. New York Democrat rated. No, never. Right. Must be a West Coast internet toggle thingy they're working on. Biden does got small nose energy. Well, that's why he seeks out kids, because never mind. Alabama Trump supporter found indicted for allegedly threatening Fulton County DA and sheriff. This is a really long article, but Arthur Ray Hansen has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Atlanta on charges of transmitting interstate threats to injure Fulton County DA Fannie Willis and Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt because of their connections to the Fulton County, Georgia investigation of former President Donald Trump. Hansen made his initial appearance in federal court in Huntsville and will be formally arraigned in Atlanta on November 13, 2023. Sending interstate threats to physically harm prosecutors and law enforcement officers is a vile act intended to interfere with the administration of justice and intimidate individuals who accept solemn duty to protect and shut the fuck up. None of this is true. Safeguard the rights of citizens. Said U.S. Attorney Brian Buchanan. When someone threatens to harm public servants for doing their jobs to enforce criminal laws, it potentially weakens the very foundation of our society. Our office will labor tirelessly with our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners to help ensure that law enforcement officials are free to serve communities without threat of physical attack. Threats against. I want to just see what the hell it is, but I don't think it says. Oh, here it is. In his message for Sheriff Hansen, made statements that included YouTube. These are and Fannie Willis or whatever the hell your name is. These are just me reading this quote. I am not saying this. If you think you're going to take a mugshot of my president, Donald Trump, and it's going to be okay, you're going to find out that after you take that mugshot, some bad shit's probably going to happen to you. If you take a mugshot of the president and you're the reason it happened, some bad shit's going to happen to you. I'm warning right now before you fuck up your life and get hurt real bad, whether you got a fucking badge or not, ain't going to help you none. You ain't going to get fucked up and you keep fucking with my president. I don't know. That doesn't seem very credible. I need to provide you with my Fulton County audio. How do I get it out of StreamYard? That's a good question. I don't actually know. I don't think you actually can. So that I don't know that that's a threat, and that's not a legitimately carried out threat, and I don't know that you can. It has to be credible, and there has to be an actual fear that they're going to carry it out. So, hopefully, enhances message for district attorney. He made statements that included: watch it when you're going to the car at night, when you're going into your house. Watch everywhere that you're going. I would be very afraid if I were you, because you can't be around people all the time that are going to protect you. I think that's a fair. I mean, that's just a warning. I make that same warning to all of you. You should watch when you're getting into your car at night, because there's bad people out there, especially in democratic cities. You should watch when you're going into your house. Make sure nobody's following you. And you should watch and be alert of everything you're doing. And generally there aren't people around that are going to protect you. And that goes for anybody. There's going to be moments when you're going to be vulnerable. Exactly. All of us are. When you charge Trump on that fourth indictment, anytime you're alone, be looking over your shoulder. And what you put out there, shit comes back at you 10 times harder, and don't ever forget it. I don't see a credible threat that has federal charges, honestly. So, this next one ties into it. And then we'll talk about it in general. Yeah, but they killed that old dude in Texas for threats. At least this guy kept his life. That's true. So we'll add in this one and then we'll talk about it. Hollandale Beach and Hollywood police have released a bolo alert for Daniel Castro. Huh. I wonder if he's in relation to Jacob Castro. I'm just saying. We don't see Jacob here. Maybe he knew this story was coming up and didn't want to be outed. Allegedly. I don't want to besmirch Jacob's good character. Yep. We don't give out threat advice or legal advice. We don't even give out threats. After he was spotted at several synagogues in the area spewing profanities and making anti-Semitic remarks. Viewer discretion.
Fuck you! Fuck you, too! Fuck you! Fuck!
Okay, so here's my thing. When the fuck, with the First Amendment, did it become illegal for you to stand outside of a synagogue and say fuck you? When did it become illegal for you to be anti-Semitic? Yeah, it may be ignorant. Yeah, we may not agree with it, but it's your freedom to be anti-Semitic or racist or sexist, or that we still have a freedom of speech that protects any speech, especially the speech that you disagree with. So if I want to stand outside a synagogue and say, fuck you, I should be able to. 100%. There's no question there. That's what's enshrined in our freedom of speech. That's what's enshrined in our Constitution, and that's what I should be able to do. There is no such thing as hate speech at all. At all. Allegedly. So they put out a warrant for the guy. I mean, they're going to arrest him when they run into him for saying fuck you at a synagogue. It's gone too far, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone too far. So I want to illustrate that the administration is playing both sides of the coin. So we're going to go into first the Venerable Corinne Jean Pierre. So they're talking about the Cornell incident. And we have more on that coming up. But I think that we can be reasonably certain that that was racial remarks and probably not okay. They actually threatened to kill people. They made specific threats. And I think that one was a bridge about 10 steps too far. Honestly. But so this is her press conference on that one. The Cornell University, and we'll get into it a little bit later. Fuck off, Ozzy. How you doing, buddy? Exactly. So this is shit. No place for hate, anti-Semitic threats, blah blah blah. So this is about the Cornell University specifically, and then we'll go into it.
Since the October 7th Hamas terrorist attacks in Israel, we have seen an alarming rise in reported anti-Semitic incidents at schools and on college campuses. There's no place for hate in America, and we condemn any anti-Semitic threat or incident in the strongest terms. We're also closely monitoring and concerned by the reports of anti-Semitic threats at Cornell University. To the students at Cornell and on campuses across the country, we're tracking these threats closely. We're thinking of you, and we're going to do everything we can on both at Cornell and across the country to counter terrorism, anti-Semitism. Today, we announced that the Biden-Harris administration is taking multiple actions to address this alarming rise. President Biden has been clear. We can't stand by and stand silent in the face of hate. We must, without equivocation, denounce anti-Semitism. We must also, without equivocation, denounce Islamophobia. Following the October 7th attack on Israel, DHS and DOJ have taken steps to ensure campus law enforcement is included in engagements with state and local law enforcement, and have taken numerous steps to provide outreach and support directly to campuses. The Department of Education is expediting the process of making it easier for students and others who experience anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or other discrimination to file a complaint under Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. In addition, this week, senior administration officials are meeting with Jewish leaders and universities to discuss the threat of anti-Semitism on campuses.
Wait like 10
and what
minutes,
the
you'll hear the
administration is
better
doing
one.
to act. In the upcoming days and weeks, the administration will continue to work to combat anti-Semitism and all hate-fueled violence on schools and also on college campuses.
God, she's so stunning and brave. It's almost ridiculous how stunning and brave she is. everybody's second favorite woman, Kamala Harris. That's 100% true. White House announces formation of the first ever U.S. national strategy to counter Islamophobia. I did a piece on this the other day, but we'll watch just in case it's a different crew. I think many are the same, but the United States officially released a document saying that they're going to fight Islamophobia. They put together this huge task force and tons of money and blah, blah, blah.
Our nation was founded on the fundamental principle that all people should have the freedom to live, to worship, and to be without fear of violence or persecution. Every person has the right to live safe from violence, hate, and bigotry. And for those reasons and so many more, President Joe Biden and I have a duty not only to keep the people of our nation safe, but to condemn unequivocally and forcefully all forms of hate. Since we took office, President Biden and I have fought to uphold that duty. Over the past decade, America has seen a rise in attacks on houses of worship. So in response, we expanded funding to protect houses of worship from violence. After a surge in hate during the pandemic, in particular anti-Asian hate, President Biden signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act to improve the reporting of hate crimes and to ensure hate crimes are investigated quickly and thoroughly. Earlier this year, in response to an historic rise in anti-Semitic attacks, we also released the first national strategy to counter anti-Semitism.
Yes.
And to make clear, taking on hate is a national priority. President Biden and I held the first White House summit to address
Oh, I know.
hate-fueled
They're playing both sides of it
violence.
hard.
And we brought together religious leaders, community leaders, and survivors to continue our work to keep all Americans safe. And today, we take another important step forward in our fight against hate. For years, Muslims in America and those perceived to be Muslim have endured a disproportionate number of hate-fueled attacks. As a result of the Hamas terrorist attack in Israel and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, we have seen an uptick in anti-Palestinian, anti-Arab,
Nazi fags,
and Islamophobic incidents across America, including the brutal attack of a Palestinian-American woman who was Muslim and the killing of her 6-year-old son. A senseless act of violence that the Department of Justice is investigating as a hate crime. For so many people in our nation, the past few days and weeks have brought about all too familiar fears. Fears that they will be targeted, profiled, or attacked simply because of who they are, how they worship, or how they look. And so today, I am proud to announce the Biden-Harris administration will develop our nation's first national strategy to counter Islamophobia. This strategy will be a comprehensive and detailed plan to protect Muslims and those perceived to be Muslim from hate, bigotry, and violence, and to address the concern that some government policies may discriminate against Muslims. For example, the so-called Muslim ban, which President Biden revoked on our first day in office. So here's the bottom line. In America, no one should be made.
She's always had the
to
desk.
fight
She's just
hate
usually
alone.
underneath of it.
And in this moment,
That's why you've never
then,
seen it like this,
let
Neil.
us all clearly say, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
Oh no, and you're doing a great job. I completely appreciate it. I truly do. So let's talk more about this hate, because we say we can't hate, they can't hate, you can't hate, there can't be any hate, Jewish hate, blah 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 hate. Hate, hate, hate. That's my Kamala Harris impression. Exactly. God, the Palestinian American, Israeli American. At what point do you just say American? We fucking should say American. They do. They do a hard job. All right. Listen to the vitriol between. So these are just two completely random clips that I grabbed. I was like, I literally typed in Israel hate and Hamas hate, and I got these two respective clips. This is Netanyahu. We're not supposed to hate either side and hate and blah blah blah. No hate. Da da da. Oh shit. I know, right? All right. So this is Netanyahu. Tell me if there's any hate there.
I want to make clear Israel's position regarding a ceasefire. Just as the United States would not agree to a ceasefire after the bombing of Pearl Harbor or after the terrorist attack of 9/11, Israel will not agree to a cessation of hostilities with Hamas after the horrific attacks of October 7th. Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible says that there is a time for peace and a time for war. This is a time for war, a war for our common future. Today, we draw a line between the forces of civilization
What's up, Flux?
And the forces of
Thanks for the
barbarism.
raid.
It is a time for everyone to decide where they stand. Israel will stand against the forces of barbarism until victory. I hope and pray that civilized nations everywhere will back this fight. Because Israel's fight is your fight. Because if Hamas
What's
and
up,
Iran's
Flex?
axis of evil win, you will be their next target. That's why Israel's victory will be your victory. But make no mistake, regardless of who stands with Israel, Israel will fight until this battle is won.
So that's one side. And mind you, I just pulled a clip. Obviously, I listened to it, but these are the first clips when there's this big government office now. So this is the other side. Senior Hamas terrorist Ghazi Hamad.
إسرائيل دولة لا مقام لها على أرضنا. إحنا الدولة لابد أن نزيلها لأنه بالفعل هي تعتبر كارثة أمنية وعسكرية وسياسية للأمة العربية والإسلامية يجب أن تنتهي. لذلك إحنا لا نخجل من نقول ذلك بكل قوة إنه إسرائيل لازم نأدبها وحنأدبها مرة ثانية وثالثة ومش هذا حتكون طوفان الأقصى أول مرة لا حتكون ثانية وثالثة ورابعة لأنه إحنا لدينا إصرار ولدينا قرار ولدينا إمكانيات أن نقاتل نعم. وأن نحارب لكن كما قلت لك بدنا ندفع ثمن نعم إحنا مستعدين معلش بدي أقول لك بشكل واضح إحنا اسمنا شعب الشهداء ونفخر أن نقدم شهداء إحنا لا نريد أن نمس لا بالمدنيين ولا أن نلحق الأذى بهم لكن أوقات لأنه في تعقيدات في الميدان صارت في منطقة موجودة وكان هناك في احتفال وكان في سكان وفي منطقة واسعة ليست سهلة على امتداد تقريبا 40 كيلومتر.
I know, absolutely rude, isn't it?
بس بقطاع غزة؟
ينتهي إلى لا بتكلم عنه كل الأراضي الفلسطينية.
كل الأراضي الفلسطينية يعني زوال إسرائيل؟
طبعا وجود إسرائيل غير منطقي. وجود إسرائيل هو اللي بخلق كل هذه الآلام والعذابات والدموع والدماء هي إسرائيل مش إحنا ضحية الاحتلال نقطة وآخر السطر لذلك ما حدا يلومنا إحنا شو اللي بنعمله في 7 أكتوبر في 10 أكتوبر في مليون أكتوبر إحنا اللي بنعمله مبرر it is justified مبررة.
Okay, so and again, I just wanted to illustrate that we're not allowed, you know, there's a gentleman that's about to get arrested and charged with a hate crime for saying fuck you at a synagogue or whatever. But this is how they feel about each other. They don't think they should exist, and there's plenty of hate there. So why does the U.S. have to remain neutral? And when did we get so stripped of our freedom of speech that I can't say what I want about a topic without fear of retribution? I mean, it's just it's insane how the countries involved can sit there and talk about eliminating each other completely. We got to be like, yep, we're creating another office to to combat the hate. Well, the hate's over there, and it's going to continue over there until there's a resolution to that conflict. So why don't you send our resources over there? Oh, wait, you did. You sent $15 billion over there today. Good start. So I just wanted to illustrate the difference in between the hate between A and B, and how the United States government is so unbelievably split. They don't know which side to take. They want to counter the Republicans, but they're obviously not allies with the Middle East, Palestinians and stuff like that. So they really put themselves in a bad spot, and they have to have a cause, and they have to do something, but they just haven't figured out who to support yet, and neither side wants them. Where's cheese? I don't see cheese. Again, not taking a side. I just wanted to point that out. So apparently this is a thing now. We covered this last week. KJP didn't call on the New York Post reporter, had an exchange, told him how much she hated him, all that bullshit. So she ignored him allegedly this week again. So here's a short clip of this ridiculousness.
Thanks, everybody.
Anti-democratic to refuse questions from one of our country's 4 largest newspapers, Korean.
Thanks, everybody.
So that's apparently a thing now. Don't really care. I think she should answer the question, but it's probably not an approved question from the administration, so they're not going to do it. Hate, hate, hate. Bring all the hate to control the cattle, steal the money, and control your thoughts. Well, yeah, that's what the government wants, and they want you to hate, but they want an office so that they can arrest you for the hate, so we can start prosecuting thought crimes, because we can't get enough. So, oh no, you're totally fine. Like, have at. Most of the shit I say is a joke some point. So, hey Bradley. All right. So this is the part that I'm concerned about with the conflict. We're starting to see the foreshadowing. We're starting to see the information coming out. This is John Kirby. It's starting to go around in all kinds of circles. All kinds of people are talking about it. All kinds of people are condemning it and saying no and blah, blah, blah. But we're starting to hear more and more about a terrorist attack on U.S. soil, to the open border, to the fact that Hamas said they were going to. All these factors go into it. But this is John Kirby avoiding a question about terrorism in the United States because of our open border policies.
Is it possible that somebody who wants to commit a terrorist attack during a time of elevated threat crossed the southern border into the United States already?
I couldn't possibly answer that question, Peter. All I can do is tell you that we have remained vigilant to that potential threat.
Is it possible that somebody who...
So, no answer. But Christopher Wray did answer. So the director of the FBI did answer. And I found his answer kind of surprising because of their official position on things right now. The non-hate, Muslims are fine. We should all love them and take in 1.5 million refugees. That shit. That's where we're at.
But as I said a few moments ago, on top of the homegrown violent extremists and domestic violent extremist threat, we also cannot and do not discount the possibility that Hamas or another foreign terrorist organization may exploit the current conflict to conduct attacks here on our own soil. We have kept our sights on Hamas and have multiple ongoing investigations into individuals affiliated with that foreign terrorist organization. But as
no worries. Thanks for stopping by. So they're admitting that a terrorist attack is very possible here on U.S. soil, and I agree. And that's what I'm concerned with this conflict, is that we don't get any repercussions. We don't get dragged into it, which is happening. We can see it. We saw it on radar today. This conflict's going to escalate. There's S-22 missile defense batteries being delivered as we speak. This is going to get messy, and we're going to get dragged in. Meanwhile, the great Gavin Newsom. This is the man I support for president of Earth. He allegedly he touches a little Chinese boy, and first he bowls him over, and then he gives him 3 pats on the butt, which I thought was kind of weird. That kid's like 9. So international incident, really creepy, super gross, and he should definitely well, that was Chris Hansen when you need him. Gross. Speaking of creep touching kids, Biden reacts to baby crying during his remarks. I don't blame her. Well, nobody should blame her, Joe, because we all cried during your remarks. Exactly. Yep. Oh, gross. Well, he's probably going to get his check since he just sold out California to the Chinese, but that's very true. He can't take Joe's signature move. I get it. Oh, did he? I didn't see that. Mm-hmm.
The children's names on their hands and legs and to be identified. If the worst happens, it's okay. Kids are allowed to do that with me. Okay? Don't worry about it, all right? I don't blame her. Is it him or her?
Somebody ordered the fried pickles.
I don't blame her.
Grab the fried pickles.
Look, the loss of the children's names.
God, he's such a fucking creep. And then we have, obviously, the flip side of it. Under a Trump administration, gasoline-fired engines will be allowed, but child mutilation will not. So, him or her. Does it matter anymore? They just make it what they want it to be. So we don't have too much of a Biden overload. I mixed some strategic Trump clips in there. So
under a Trump administration, gasoline-fired engines will be allowed, but child sexual mutilation will be not allowed.
It's easier to get that A chrome out of them.
Will not be allowed. Can you imagine you're a politician 10 or 15 years ago and you're saying, we will not allow you to sexually mutilate our children? Could you imagine that's actually a campaign talking point? I mean, what's going on?
We lost our minds, Mr. President. We lost our minds. All right, here's the video you guys all wanted. You wanted to see the sniff heard around the world again. I wouldn't take candy from Joe Biden, but there's definitely a sniff here. I will slow it down if I have to. It needs to happen soon. Very, very soon. Very soon. Put what one? Oh, you put Newsom falling. Perfect. Thank you. There's a sniff. It's coming. It's coming. There it is. There it is. I'll pause it. There it is. There's the sniff. You can see his eyes closed. That's a sniff. 100% a sniff. Yeah, all the alphabet soup agencies. Yep. He did. He took in a deep breath, and that is a sniff. The eyes are closed. That is 100% sniff. So, I told you it happened. I know, gross. They have a line of moms with kids for him to sniff. What's next? He dresses as Santa. I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put it past him. God, he's a creep. Here's another counter to the other side not being able to make up their mind which side they're on, just whichever one looks more fashionable. Here, I think he gives a good response here.
Department wishes admitting colossal amounts of jihadists into our communities and campuses and our refugee programs. That's why you see all of these big demonstrations in New York and Chicago. Nobody can believe what's taking place. They're letting them in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We cannot allow that to happen, and we don't want to be like Europe with jihads on every corner. That's what happens. I mean, we're going to be like Europe. You take a look at London, you take a look at Paris, you take a look at what's going on over there. We want to be the United States of America, and we want to make our country great again. Right now, we don't have a great country. We have a laughingstock. As president, I will end once and for all the mass importation of anti-Semitism into the United States. And just as I did before, we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. We're going to keep them out of our country. We were keeping them out. We were keeping them out. You remember the travel ban? On day one, I will restore our travel ban. We had a travel ban because we didn't want people coming into our country who really love the idea of blowing our country up. Let's blow up our streets and our shopping centers and our people. So I instituted what we call the Trump travel ban, and it was an amazing success. It was suspended immediately upon his coming into the country. And I never talked about this for 4 years. I never mentioned it. We didn't have one incident in 4 years because we kept bad people the hell out of our country. We kept them out.
That's fucking true.
We didn't
100%.
have not one instance. I didn't want to say it during the 4 years because I didn't
There's
want to
a lot
walk out
of
the speech and have
parasitic
something
loss
happen,
there.
right? I'll also be
Good night, AP
implementing
and Wolfman.
strong ideological screenings for all immigrants coming in. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country.
Nobody
and
wants
you're
to
not
know
going
what you do in your
getting
spare
into our
time,
country.
Andor. Jason, seriously? What the fuck, man? That is literally 3 stories from now. So here is what I was telling you. This is your information minute of the day, probably of the year. And it's given by the one, the only, the great Heels Up Harris.
President Biden is a leader with a vision for our future. He has the ambition to meet the challenges of the moment here and around the globe, and he has the courage and skill to lead us forward, including on AI.
Yes, President Biden knows AI. I'm sure he knows it incredibly well. He's yeah. I memean, damn. So now we're going on to Prison Planet here. Patrick Dye, 21-year-old engineering student, arrested for the vile death threats against the Jews at Cornell. So this is the individual. Not trying to be ridiculous, but he doesn't look like your average criminal. But we'll go through his messages. I thought these were disgusting. I don't have a problem with this one because this was just kind of over the top. If you see a Jewish person, again, YouTube, this is not me. I'm just reading the news. Jewish people need to be killed. If you see a Jewish person on campus, follow them home and slit their throats. Rat needs to be eliminated from Cornell. They're all pretty bad like that. And here's a couple more of them. Allahu Akbar, from river to sea, Palestine will be free. Glory to Hamas. Liberation by any means necessary. And the title of that is Going to Shoot Up 104 West. It was not me. Potentially. What's up, Muffin Radio? Yeah, I know. I don't know. So he didn't have. So they weren't even like posted by Jew Evil, Jew Genocide, Killed Jews, and Hamas Warrior. So he wasn't very creative. I give him a 0 out of 10 for creativity. See, now that's really bad, but he's not threatening anyone either. He is fomenting violence. Right. I think this goes a little too far, but he's not directly threatening anyone. So uncalled for, but all right. Tupac murder suspect Keith D pleads not guilty in arraignment. There's not much to this. Everybody's covered it already. The apparent murder of Tupac pleads not guilty. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully the trial's televised. That could be a fun one. I wonder if Kamala will go. Here's the news you've been waiting for. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 criminal fraud counts. The month-long trial of Bankman-Fried wrapped up on Thursday, leaving jury to decide the fate of the FTX founder. Bankman pled not guilty to criminal fraud charges tied to the collapse late year in the crypto exchange FTX and a sister hedge fund, Alameda Research. Key witnesses were former members of Fried's inner circle. See who needs that Aussie fig when we get decent news here. Exactly. Fuck Aussie. No, I love Aussie. And I only do news on Thursdays, so he does it every day. So this one, I'll probably do a little bit bigger of a deep dive on it, but the jury has found Bankman-Fried guilty on all 7 criminal counts. FTX CEO faces a maximum sentence of 115 years in prison. You know damn well he's not going to get 115 years. He might get 20, maybe 25. And then of that, he'll serve 8. Like, let's be honest here. So I don't remember exactly when this was. Oh, they updated it. So they went in at 3:15, and I think it took them about 10 minutes to return a verdict. I remember it going very quickly. So there'll be more to come on that after a little bit more, after we get sentencing and see what he's looking at. Maybe we'll do a deep dive. My racism is for comedic purposes, with the exception of the 100 years dash being the spirit. That's how they say. Yes. So, yard dash. Sorry. Fast twitch muscle fibers, buddy. Fast twitch muscle fibers. All right. So we'll catch up on that later after a little bit more comes out. That just broke tonight. So, this was interesting. Middle Tennessee State University building closed after suicide classes canceled, says police. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, a tragic incident involving a suicide at Middle Tennessee State University prompted the cancellation of classes and closure of various offices, officials said Wednesday. The discovery took place at Peck Hall approximately 7:15 a.m. on Wednesday. The individual took their own life, was a contract worker, and not a student, according to the university's president. In response to this event, the university expressed its condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of the victim in a statement. Police did not disclose whether the individual used a firearm. They would have if they did. So I assume that they didn't. MTSU has decided to cancel classes in Peck Hall for Wednesday, with normal scheduling set to resume today on Thursday. This one's a weird one because if there was a gun used, they would have publicized it. So that one's one of those ones I'm going to keep kind of an eye on, because this one was kind of a weird scenario, let's just say. Dot or feather? I'm a feather. Exactly. Oh, you're a feather too? See, he can't even be racist. That's why I get away with it. Delta co-pilot allegedly threatened to shoot captain during flight, officials say. This shit's getting crazy, and I'm starting to get worried about flying. Shit, you had the guy the other day that tried to take down a plane with 83 people on it. You have this one. This one was a little bit ago, but it's just coming out now. So, yeah, so about a year ago. Jonathan Dunn has been indicted October 18th for interfering with a crew of a commercial airline flight, as confirmed by DOT. The incident transpired on August 22nd, 2022, while Dunn served as the crew's first officer. After a disagreement about potential flight diversion due to passenger medical event, Dunn told the captain they would be shot multiple times if the captain diverted the flight. The statement said, Dunn did assault and intimidate the crew member of an aircraft, thereby interfering with the performance of duties of the crew member and lessening the ability of the crew member to perform those duties, and did use a dangerous weapon in assaulting and intimidating a crew member. I know. Dunn was permitted to carry a firearm through TSA's FFDO, Federal Flight Deck Officer Program. They also don't go through any kind of security protocol either. So, under the FFDO program, FFDOs are authorized by the Transportation Security Administration to carry their TSA-issued firearm equipment on board an aircraft to safeguard the flight deck against criminal violence or air piracy. TSA has since revoked Dunn's participation in the program, and he was fired. The investigation is being led by the DOT Office of Inspector General in collaboration with the FBI and the support of the FAA. So just another odd story. Curious why the hell they covered it up for so long, too. I have to preface this next one with I have been right here. I was not in Las Vegas. I know you guys wished I was. I know you guys think I was. But I have not recently been in Las Vegas. Sorry to disappoint. Watch naked suspects. Flights. Las Vegas police officer steals patrol vehicle, causes serious crash. We'll just watch the video. The video explains it. Again, I was not in Vegas. Have not been in Vegas. Viewer discretion. There's the naked dude stealing the truck. So he basically stole the truck. Right, he was naked. There was probably some drug use involved. Hasn't said anything like that. See, it doesn't say MightyMeat. It says Clyde Cabelson. So it was not MightyMeat. It was a guy named Clyde. It wasn't you either, unless your name's really Clyde. Well, I appreciate it. I usually don't. Well, I usually do, but, you know, it's just easier that way. Probably. He's probably a streetwalker. I said that's not my name. You know my name, Deez. Vouch for me, brother. Help me out. I mean, don't tell anybody my name. Just. All right, moving on from kind of a funny one. I mean, it's the plot of Hangover, for fuck's sake. Like, it happens. It's Vegas. This one's a little bit more serious. Multiple people have been shot with multiple suspects at large. This is in Laurel, Delaware. This was actually a couple days ago, 2-3 days ago. Numerous law enforcement and emergency officials are currently on the scene of a reported mass shooting in Laurel, Delaware. It is currently unknown how many people have been shot, as the police have not released the names or statuses of the victims. Multiple suspects have been reported at large. Officials are asking people to avoid the area. This is still developing. So, small town. I mean, we covered pretty extensively the main shooter that wound up dead in the river, almost like somebody called that. Well, it's Robert Ritchie, but yeah, same difference. That's my stage name. Police have confirmed 3 teenage boys were shot in Laurel, Delaware. State troopers are involved in searching for multiple suspects. This one went away too quick. So it's always concerning because this one went away super quick. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. He died this year too. Delaware. You know, there's a big RICO gang up there. Our former vice president is is part of it. I know you did. Yeah, for sure. You gotta be careful sometimes. No shit. That makes sense. That's why you look like that. That's why I'm so attracted. I thought this one was funny. I'm not going to go into it huge. I just wanted to thousands of dollars worth of jewelry stolen from Colorado locker room during UCLA game. That joint messed up. Part of this is I think that Neon Dion is secretly super fucking based. I don't want to spread that too wide because I think he's kind of incognito based. And that is awesome. Send me some. I think he's secretly based. Don't tell anybody. I want him to finish his mission first. Officials have reported that University of Colorado football players had their jewelry stolen from the locker room during the Buffaloes game against UCLA. Oh no, a single gaudy gold ring won't be able to use to smack a bitch in the face. Quick call upon stuff. Well, his kid, Shadur Sanders, boy, is iced out because his dad's Neon Dion. So, I mean, I could see some change in that room. In the aftermath of Colorado's 28-16 loss at the Rose Bowl on Saturday night, several players discovered that their personal jewelry, which was left in the locker room, had gone missing. Pasadena police spokesperson Lisa Durdane confirmed an investigation is underway. Can't play that video because ESPN will absolutely strike me. UCLA, in a statement, acknowledged that its athletic department had reported the disappearance of the items from the Colorado locker room to Pasadena Police Department following the UCLA Colorado football game. It's California, so if it was under $1,000, then they're not going to get prosecuted anyways. Neon is called on the Rose Bowl or UCLA to reimburse, which I think they should. All right, so this idiot guy admits to randomly sucker punching strangers at a Texas park for social media attention. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not going to give this idiot even any airplay. This is the state of social media. You have idiots that are doing stupid shit, and it's shocking that this man didn't get seriously injured or even killed. If you walk up and punch me in the back of the head, it's probably not going to end well for you. Well, it's Deion Sanders, so very. Yes. That's what I'm saying. That video's everywhere. Yeah. I just don't want to promote an idiot like this asshole. This is, if you're a woman, you tight pants and show off your tits. If you're a man, you're doing stupid shit like this, and it just dumbs down everything that we are, have, or ever will be. And I am shocked that this guy didn't get shot or seriously harmed. Thing is, kid had a gun on him in case anyone fought back. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, and that's one of those executive choices. I don't want to give this guy any more play because he's getting off on the clicks and the attention he's getting because that's what the intention was behind it. So moving on, trigger warning. These are the sick fucks that get your wood chippers out, turn on the engines, and get it started because you're going to need it. Michigan woman who filmed videos with infant and shared them online is sentenced. Detroit. A Warren resident was sentenced today for 20 years in federal prison, not long enough, on charges of exploitation of children and distributing that, announced U.S. District Attorney Dawn Eisen. Eisen was joined by... Here, let me see, because if I keep reading it, I'm going to have to fucking walk all over it. Let me step around it because I can't say half the words. See if the press conference is on the screw tubes. Of course it's not. And this just happened today, so this is breaking, so there might not be a presser out there. This is the lowest of low. This is disgusting. Okay, Fox 2 has something. Because apparently they can say whatever the fuck they want, but if I say any of those words, it's going to be a problem.
Do want to warn you, the details in this story are extremely graphic. There's no other way to describe it, so bear that in mind. Child sexual abuse, absolutely horrible in every case, especially this one. And there's also resources out there to help stop this kind of devastating and awful thing. We're with Fox 2. Are you Mrs. Dunbar? Only a woman who says she was the babysitter came to the door at the Warren home listed for 26-year-old Amber Dunbar, according to public records. The feds have accused Dunbar of allegedly recording herself in sexualized videos with an infant girl and distributing them online. According to an FBI filing, it's alleged Dunbar both created and distributed child porn for the purpose of selling it. FBI agents looked at messages that had been sent during Kik chat sessions when they uncovered a username that was traced back to an email account associated with Dunbar. Sources say the subpoena received by Kik also uncovered an IP address where Dunbar lived.
It's very disheartening. It's definitely something that at our agency, like, we hear a lot.
Phoebe White is a supervisor at the Kids Talk Children's Advocacy Center. She's also a former CPS worker and says shocking cases of child sexual abuse like this one underscore the need for as much intervention as possible.
It's hard for us to make sure that we make sure every child is safe. The only thing we can do is just bring awareness and make sure that when we do see these things, that we catch it and that we try to intervene and try to do the things that would be best practice.
Federal authorities say they uncovered 3 videos of a woman engaging in sexual activity with an infant girl, including instances of oral sex, according to an exam of an individual's phone.
Fucking
Investigators
gross.
determined the woman in the videos to be Dunbar. A search warrant was secured on December 7th, followed by Dunbar being interviewed. Investigators say she first admitted to using the Kik account and said she participated in group chats where people traded child pornography. Documents say she also admitted to looking at the traded videos but did not download or save them. Dunbar also denied engaging in sexual activity with minors before she was shown screenshots of 2 videos uncovered in the probe. But the feds say she did admit she was in the video and that she knew of the minor. The investigation goes on to say she asked for but never got any money for the videos.
It doesn't matter what
You tried to sell them and you weren't even good enough to fucking sell them, you dumb
what
bitch.
status you are, what race you are, what gender. I think that sometimes people kind of look at it and not be aware that it can happen to anyone.
And that criminal complaint was signed on December 8th. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Obviously fucking disgusting. And terrifying. Terrifying that something like that is going on. I changed my mind. I can't fix this one. No, this one's fucked. There are nobody wants to go to Warren though. Nobody wants to go to Warren. But I need to know if she's actually a file or if she's just doing it to sell. I believe she's just doing it to sell. It sounded like, but I mean, if you're doing that, you have to be a twisted fuck, or you can't. There's no way you can do that and be just trying to make a buck. There's no way. So I think the only one is you can be both. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And absolutely. I hope you're talking about teacher here. This one I don't have as obviously as much of a problem with as the previous one, but teacher 24 allegedly sent explicit videos to student propositioned him. Missouri. A Missouri special education teacher. Okay. Yep. Nope. That takes it to a fucked up level. She took advantage of somebody that wasn't even able to. Like, when you get into that age, it's kind of like, maybe. But, yeah, she's just as twisted fuck as the previous one. Faced criminal charge over an alleged relationship with a 16-year-old boy, Ricky Lynn Laughlin. 25 stands accused of 1 count of possession of that stuff, tampering with the witness, tampering with physical evidence, and attempted statutory rape in the 2nd degree, promoting obscenity in the 1st degree, and furnishing materials to a minor. She is a very attractive woman. Why could she not get somebody that was at least like 2 years older? I don't get it either. Why? That's what I'm saying. There has to be some kind of fetish or kink or fucked up brain to that. I don't know. North Dakota politician charged with traveling to the Czech Republic to engage with a minor. To be fair, he looks like the kind of guy that would go to North Dakota for federal grand jury returned an indictment against Raymond Everett Holmberg, aka Sean Evans, for tourism and receipt of images. Holmberg, age 79, from Grand Forks, North Dakota, a former Republican North Dakota state senator, was indicted on October 26, 2023 in the U.S. District Court for the District of North Dakota and appeared for initial appearance for arraignment today. The indictment alleges that beginning in June 2011 through November 2016, Holmberg repeatedly traveled from North Dakota to Prague, Czech Republic, for the purpose of engaging in commercial acts with a person under the age of 18. It also alleges that on November 21st, 2012, and continuing until March 4th, 2013, Holmberg received and attempted to receive images depicting minor conduct. Holmberg has entered a not guilty plea to matters alleged in the indictment, and an initial trial date has been scheduled for December 5th, 2023. Bradley B., we know you're 12. We know you're 12. I know, me too. We're all done with the sick fucks, just for the record, but thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your night. This one, I mean, not a good look. It doesn't specify the ages of the children. Well, it is North Dakota. It is North Dakota. So, moving on. Thank God we're all done with Prison Planet. We can all take a deep breath. This was breaking a couple days ago. I don't know who he is. I'm not a big movie and show guy. I obviously know who he is, but I didn't know who he is. Friend star Matthew Perry dead at 54 after apparent drowning in his Los Angeles home. There happens to be a lot of conspiracy around this one as well. First responders rushed to a call for cardiac arrest after he's found a jacuzzi at his home where there were no drugs found on the scene and there was no foul play involved, according to reports. No D's. Maybe. I don't even see where you're at. Oh, that one? No. No, it's too soon for that. This was Perry's last post on his Instagram 5 days ago. And it's him allegedly in a hot tub, which is kind of odd. But I understand he was big for the show scene and he was in Friends or something. I don't do TV. But I do watch football though. I do certainly watch football. This was kind of neat for me. Protesters stormed the field, delaying the USC-Cal football game, calling for a ceasefire in Palestine. Berkeley, California. Currently, the USC Trojan and Cal Golden Bears football at the California Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, California, has been delayed after protesters stormed the field, locked arms, calling for a ceasefire in Palestine at the 50-yard line, causing many football fans to get angry. I think they should have just let him play. They should just let him play and just run plays over him. Fine, Bobby. Fine, Bobby. It hasn't been over 24 hours. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Pettawood, so I mean, shit. Schwimmer? Not Schwimmer. That's from D's. He made me do it. He made me do it. Another one for D's. Damn, it's just your night, D's. Breaking. For the first time ever, the Texas Rangers have won their first World Series victory with a score of 5-0. I thought this was yeah. He just wrote it really weird. So the Texas Rangers won the World Series.
63rd season. Hey, it's happened! The Texas Rangers win the World Series!
I did a whole video on that one.
Six.
I don't know if this actually happened. Digger can confirm it for us, this next one, but fuck the Texas Rangers. Watch a semi-truck collided with a trailer carrying $100,000 worth of fireworks, resulting in an impressive pyrotechnic display. I would love to see this. This is in BC, so if it's as big as it's supposed to be, then Digger should have saw it. Pretty. We do suck. And I am jealous. That is a lot of fireworks. Holy shit. You're almost getting rewarded for the car wreck. But yeah, I believe everyone was okay. It was just impressive to see the display. So, an explosion where everybody wasn't okay. Multiple reports of injuries after a gas explosion decimates apartment building. I've been seeing this. I think this is the 4th week in a row we've seen one of these just random buildings blow up. So, numerous emergency crews and authorities are on site at Wappingers Falls, New York, responding to a large gas explosion that destroyed and collapsed an apartment building, causing damage to surrounding structures. Reports indicate multiple people have been injured, with medical helicopters on scene. There are multiple reports of shaking and loud boom in the area, and town officials are advising people to stay away from the area. So this happened about 5 hours ago. So this one's fairly recent.
I was standing by the window, literally, and all of a sudden there was this huge boom noise, and everybody
It was a terrible
ran outside,
boom
and I
sound.
looked down, and there's fucking fire. I don't know what just started that, but
Can you not say fucking on my
pretty
channel?
bad. And
Jesus.
the fire. I was standing by the window.
So I hope everyone's okay. That one was just fairly recent. So, and like I said, I think this is 4 weeks in a row that we've had this. Where we've had a gas explosion, and they're scary and they're terrifying. I know you don't care about New York, but I care about New York. I don't care about it. This one's concerning, and this is the last serious concerning news that we have, but well, were you successful? Because that's talent if you can do that. Pixar, it didn't happen. So, this is concerning. Just breaking not too terribly long ago. But Eurasia's tallest active volcano erupts in Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. I don't think this is on the super volcano scale, but those are obviously we can find Kamchatka. So Kamchatka is far east, so it's over. Could be. Gross. What's a safe moon? I didn't do that. I don't know what the hell that meant. Kamchatka, I don't know if anybody watches what's his dick? Who's the earthquake guy that was on YouTube? He's gone now because they've been dicking with him. DotSense. DotSense was always talking about Kamchatka and how it would be pretty catastrophic if it started to really, really get going off. Potentially, could have been. But you've seen him. All right, for Digger. I have no idea what the hell this is, but
there's a saying meme traders like, and that is to the moon. Well, some loved it so much they made a cryptocurrency that was called SafeMoon. You can see it here. It was simple. Buy SafeMoon and your investment safely goes to the moon. The plan was that for every SafeMoon sold, 2% of the tokens were burned or deleted to lower the total supply of the token. Fewer tokens, higher price, right? To the moon. Well, as it turns out, paying 100 of anything to buy 98 of it is not such a good idea, especially as the US Department of Justice alleges that 98 wasn't even going to the moon. Instead, it was going straight into the pockets of the SafeMoon promoters. The DOJ just arrested SafeMoon's chief executive, John Caroni, and chief technology officer, Thomas Smith. But creator Kyle Nagy is still on the run. Police have issued warrants for his arrest. The DOJ alleges they withdrew $200 million of the investors' money to buy real estate, custom sports cars, luxury vehicles, and overseas trips. In other words, real things
as you do
with the unreal money. There's no surprise that SafeMoon's price looks like the space shuttle. The Challenger disaster, in fact, it's down 48%. That's just today. It's down 98% from its all-time high. That was 2 years ago. Remember that 2% that people gave away up front? Do the maths. 2 plus 98% lost equals everything done.
So yeah, it's starting to look more and more like this whole crypto bullshit is a total scam all the way through. Yes. All right. So now it takes us to the part that makes me very excited. So this is our upcoming launch schedule. So we have another Falcon 9 Starlink tomorrow night. November, we have a CRS mission, which is that's a commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station, and that'll be from LC at 39A from Kennedy. And that's really all we have coming up. Empower 5 and 6 on November 12th. And then we have USSF for the U.S. Space Force, Mission 52. We have a Falcon Heavy to be determined, time to be determined sometime in December. Sometime in December, we get another big, beautiful Falcon 9. The shitty part is usually they're expendable because of the DoD.
I'm going to come.
But they're getting better at what they do, so maybe they won't. Maybe they'll land them. And then the day before Christmas here in the States, supposedly going to have ULA Vulcan Centaur. We'll see if that works. More SpaceX news. Starship and Super Heavy were loaded with more than 10 million pounds of propellant today. for a flight-like rehearsal ahead of the launch. The FAA survey of the fish in the area has not completed yet. There's some grumblings that it could be done as early as next week, and a launch could be imminent for mid-November. So we'll just watch this, roll this beautiful bean footage. Oh, it's so sexy. Oh, yes, the fish.
They came all over the place.
Little Rocket Man.
Me neither. Yeah, it's the fucking bean commercial. All right. So, Jason J, are you still here, buddy? I haven't seen you in a minute. Well, you're gonna send me that later, but exactly. I hope Jason's here. It is. It's so phallic. There you go. Bush's baked beans. Thank you. Jason, this one's for you, buddy. Shit, stop clicking. This last one's for you. And this is where we're gonna end the show on a happy note.
Hello, is this your home?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Sorry, I just locked my door. Yeah.
We had a 911 call come from.
Talk to my son. Gianni, come here.
Does he have a disconnected cell phone?
Yep. Come here. Bring your phone. Come here. He honestly doesn't even know what 911 is.
Yeah. I'll explain it to him. It's not a problem.
Did you call this gentleman? You called the police? I wanted to give him a hug. You called him to give him a hug. What is it? Let me see if it was here. Yep, at 441.
Yeah.
And I know what your phone number 911.
Yeah, but you know what that's for? Is if you're in trouble and you need help, or if somebody you know is around you and that's in trouble and that needs help. It's very important. You got to be careful when you call that number, okay?
Okay.
Only in emergencies, and if you're hurt or someone else is hurt and your mom needs help, you know, someone's doing something they're not supposed to do, you give us a call, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So
Yes, Mom.
sorry.
It's okay, kid. Don't worry about it. You're welcome. All right, it's time for a kid down the phone playing.
Just wanted a hug. See, not all cops are bad, Jason. Most of them all agree with you, but not all cops are bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me this lovely, lovely evening. I hope you all have a beautiful Thursday. Yeah, probably because they hung up and then they have to dispatch if you hang up. So, I thought so. Or, if we're being honest, you did notice let's say, the race of the couple that came to the door. The cop could have shot him. Let's not. This is a fucked up world we live in. So, but no, I thought it was cute. I thought it was a good way to end the show. So, yeah, it's gonna be it for us. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I will catch you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.